gone through the previous video on the introduction of modern periodic table quite well, right? So today we are going to continue further with the topic of modern periodic table, right? So we know that the modern periodic table is also called as what? It's also named as the long form of the periodic table. It's also called as the long form of the periodic table. It was Henry Moseley who presented the modern periodic table, but Niels Bohr also helped in editing. He edited the modern periodic table, right? It was edited by Niels Bohr, and because of that, Niels Bohr was an element was named after Niels Bohr. Okay, so you are going to post me in the comment box the name of the element which was named after Niels Bohr and also the atomic number of that element, right? So we have the long form of the periodic table, and it was edited by whom? Niels Bohr, scientist Niels Bohr, about whom you have already read in the atomic structure, that how he presented his Bohr's atomic model, right? So students, now let us come back to the topic. So let me write down the elements from hydrogen up to helium, hydrogen up to calcium, lithium, then you have beryllium, boron, carbon, nitrogen, oxygen, fluorine, neon, sodium, magnesium, aluminium, silicon, phosphorus, sulfur, then you have chlorine, then you have argon, then potassium and calcium. Okay, so these are the first 20 elements of the periodic table. Clear? So as we know, this is the group 1, group 2, group 3, group 13, 14, 15, 16, 17 and group number 18. This is the first period, second period, and this is our third period, and this is the fourth period. Okay, so group period 1, 2, 3, 4. So students, now let us understand the term typical elements. Remember, elements of period 3 are called as typical elements because they summarize the properties of other elements in their group, right? So let us come to the period 3. Now the period 3 is this one, starting from sodium and ending in argon, yes or no? But then you have to take from sodium up to chlorine only. Okay, that means sodium, magnesium, aluminium, silicon, phosphorus, sulfur, chlorine. So these are the typical elements, the elements of the group 3, because these elements decide the properties of other elements, or we can say summarize the properties of other elements in their group. Like if you study the property of sodium, you can understand the properties of all the other elements of group 1. If you study the properties of magnesium, you can understand the properties of all the other elements of that particular group. Now there are more elements in that group, right? So these are basically the elements which summarize the properties of other elements in their group. Apart from that, we have the bridge elements. Right? So what are these bridge elements? So there is a diagonal relationship between elements of period 2 and 3. Diagonal relationship between elements of period 2 and 3, right? So what are the elements of period 2 and 3? So diagonal relationship is what? Like you will see here, lithium is related to magnesium. They have their properties are similar. They have some similarities in their properties. So this is a diagonal relationship. In the elements of period 2 and 3, beryllium with aluminium, right? And boron with silicon. So like that, so elements, there is some diagonal relationship between the elements which are present in the period 2 and 3, and hence these elements are called as what? Bridge elements, right? So now students, let us discuss about the significance of groups and periods, okay? And the variation in the periodic properties also we'll be discussing, but in the next class, okay? Today I'm just going to explain the significance of groups and periods, okay? So let us take the groups first, right? So what is the significance of groups and periods, or how they are useful to us, okay? So now students, let us take the group 1 element. Suppose let us take the group 1, we have hydrogen, lithium, sodium and potassium, okay? Let us write the electronic configurations. Hydrogen is 1, lithium is 2, 1, sodium is 2, 8, 1, potassium is 2, 8, 8, 1. Okay? So you know how to write the electronic configurations of all the elements. Now you see students, what is common in these elements regarding the electronic configuration. As you can see here, these elements have what? The same number of valence electrons. They have the same number of what? Valence electrons. So students, I hope you remember that how we had learned the number of elements in each period. The first period has how many elements? 2. The second period has 8, then 8, 18, 18, 32, 32. This was the sequence in which you are going to learn, okay? The number of elements in the period table. So if you are not knowing the atomic number also, you can decide and write down. See how. Like suppose now you have here, next is gallium, okay? Okay, the next one is what? Gallium. So you have boron, aluminium and gallium. So now boron belongs to the second period. Okay. So what is the atomic number of boron? It is 5. The atomic number of boron is 5. And you know the atomic number of aluminium is how much? 13. So you see here group number 2. That means number 2 is 8. Now you are going to add what? Next 8 to this 5 to get 13. Next you are going to add 18 to 13 to get the atomic number of gallium. Just see. Boron is 5. Boron is how much? 5. Okay. And the atomic number of aluminium you are knowing. But boron belongs to which period? It belongs to the second period. Okay. So this is the second period, right? Now next, in order to obtain the next element, aluminium, you are going to add. This element in the third period is aluminium. Aluminium belongs to which period? Third period. So you add 8. 8 plus 5 you got 13, right? Now next, in order to get the atomic number of the element below aluminium is what? Gallium. So you are going to add, now this is the gallium belongs to which period now? Gallium belongs to the fourth period. So fourth means you have to add what? 18. 18 plus 13 will give us how much? 31, right? So what is the atomic number of gallium? 31. Like suppose indium. Okay. So what are you going to add to indium? 31. Indium belongs to fifth period. So 31 plus 18 will give you how much? 49, right? So indium is how much? 49. So like that, if you are knowing the atomic numbers, you can just follow this sequence and go on adding. Like for the first period, second period, third, fourth, fifth, sixth, seventh. Like that you can find the atomic numbers of the other elements also. Okay, so this is one way. So here also if you write the electronic configuration, let's take the first 2 elements. So boron is 2, 3. Aluminium is 2, 8, 3. Gallium will be how much? 2, 8, 8. So we got here 2, 8, 18. Okay, 28 and 3. Yes or no? So let me write up this much only. So boron, aluminium, gallium. You can see the number of valence electron is same in all these cases. That means what do you understand now? What can you conclude regarding a group? We can conclude that in a group, the elements falling in a group have the same number of valence electrons. That means they have similar valency. They have similar valency. Okay. So that means we can write down elements in a group. Elements in a group have what? Similar valence electrons. That is why they have similar valencies. Yes or no? And because of that, they have similar physical and chemical properties. Okay? Similar physical and chemical properties. That is why they are grouped into one group. In one group they are grouped together because what is the meaning of this periodic table? Elements which fall in the same group should have the similar physical and chemical properties, or the properties show a gradual increase or decrease. So that we will be discussing again in the next class also. Some important periodic properties we will be discussing. Okay, today I am just focusing on the significance of the group and the period. So that means elements which are in the same group. And one more thing, students, what you need to understand is that the group number denotes the number of valence electrons. The group number denotes the number of valence electrons. Okay, like group 1, the elements falling in group 1, the number of valence electrons is 1. Elements falling in group 2, the number of valence electrons is 2. Yes or no? So that means, but directly looking at it, that means group number denotes the number of valence electrons. The number of valence electrons. Clear? That means elements falling in group 1 have one that means for directly for group 1 and 2. Okay, for group 1 and 2, it is directly the number of valence electrons. Elements falling in group 2 have 2 number of valence electrons in their outermost shell, right? Elements falling in group 13, now do they have 13 valence electrons? No. So here what you will do, you are going to subtract 10 from 13. 10 from 13. So now for this 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18, you are going to subtract 10 from each. Like suppose, what is the valency of, what is the valence number of valence electrons in group 13? So 13 minus 10, 3. What is the number of valence electrons in group, number of valence in group 14? 14 minus 10, 4. What is the number of valence electrons in group 15? 15 minus 10, 5 valence electrons. What is the number of valence electrons in group 16? 16 minus 10, okay, 6 electrons. What is the number of valence electrons in group 17? So you subtract 17 minus 10, that is 7. And what about the number of valence electrons in group 18? 18 minus 10, 8. Okay. So that means for group number 1 and 2, directly it is 1 and 2 represents group 1. Group number represents what? Number of valence electrons. And for these group numbers starting from 13 up to at 18, what you are going to do? You are going to subtract 10 from the group number. Okay. Because previously how they were named? This was group 1A, 2A, and this is 3A, 4A, 5A, 6A, 7A, right? So that means directly you would have known that this is what? Number of valence electrons 3, number of valence electrons 4, 5, 6, 7, like that, okay? So what idea do you get from the group number? From the group number we can know about, that means in a group the elements have similar number of valence electrons in a group, okay? And in a group the elements have similar valences since they have similar number of valence electrons, and in a group the elements have the similar physical and chemical properties, right? So now students, let us understand the significance of period. So for that, let us take a period, elements belonging to one period, like suppose let us take second period, okay, elements of the second period. What are the elements? Lithium, beryllium, boron, carbon, nitrogen, oxygen, fluorine and neon. These belong to the same period, okay. So let us write the electronic configuration for each. This is 2, 1, this is 2, 2, okay. Boron is 2, 3, then carbon is 2, 4, nitrogen is 2, 5, 2, 6, right? Fluorine is 2, 7 and neon is 2, 8, okay. So now you see these are elements belonging to the same period, and what is common in them? When you write the electronic configuration, you can understand that these elements which fall in the same period have the same number of shells. You can see here they have the same number of shells. Like lithium has 2 shells, beryllium also has 2 shells. That means they have K and L shells. Yes or no? They have only 2 shells, that is K and L. That means the period number, and they belong to which period? Second period. That means the meaning of the second period is what? If you got to know that an element belongs to second period, so you should directly conclude that this element has only 2 shells. So that means period number denotes the number of shells. Period number denotes the number of shells. Suppose an element, suppose the elements belonging to period 3 now, they have what? 3 shells. Elements belonging to period 4 have 4 shells. Let us try for this calcium and potassium. Okay, they belong to which period? Period 4. Period 4. So let us write the electronic configuration. For potassium it is 281, 2881, and for calcium it is 2882, and they belong to the same period, that is period 4. You can count the number of shells, 1, 2, 3, 4, both have 4 shells. That means period 4, the elements falling in period 4 have 4 shells. The elements falling in period 3 have 3 shells. So the period number is very important, as by knowing the period number you can decide, you can just conclude the number of shells, and by knowing the group number you can just conclude the number of valence electrons present in that of that particular group or for that particular element, right? And one more thing, students, what you can conclude from here, that the number of valence electrons is arithmetically increasing as you move along a period. Okay, they have the same number of shells, right? They have the same number of shells, there is no doubt about it. But then one more thing you just see here, the number of valence electrons in lithium is 1, in beryllium 2, boron 3, carbon 4, nitrogen 5, oxygen 6. So you can see there is an arithmetic increase in the number of valence electrons as you move from left to right along a period. Okay, the number of valence electrons are arithmetically increasing. Okay, so one more thing you can just remember here, on moving left to right along a period, the number of valence electrons increases arithmetically. Yes or no? Clear? So today some general idea you have got. So what is the significance of the period? Period denotes the number of shells. What is the significance of the group? Group denotes the number of valence electrons, right? So now students, let us solve this question. Find the group and period of elements having atomic number 17, 11, 18, 6, 7. Okay. So you have to write the group and the period of the elements which are having the atomic numbers these. Okay. So what you will do, the first thing here, students, just write down the electronic configuration 287. This will be 281. This is 288. This is 24 and this is 25. Okay. So after writing the electronic configuration, now let's see. Okay, the first element, 287. So what is the number of valence electrons? 7. So group 7. So that means now in this case, what you are going to do, you are going to add 10 to it. But in order to find the valence electrons, you are going to subtract 10 from the group number that I have told you earlier. Yes or no? But in this case, what you are going to do, you are going to add 10 to the number of valence electrons. So it belongs to group 17. Okay, it belongs to group 17. Clear? And what is the period? How many shells it has? 1, 2, 3. That means it belongs to the third period. And group number is 17. Likewise, let us take the next one. How many valence electron it has? 1. So obviously it is group 1 only. Directly you can write it is group 1. Number of valence electrons is 1 or 2? Group 1 only. 1 and 2. Now how many shells it has? 1, 2, 3. That means it belongs to the period 3. Number of shells tells us about the period number, the number of shells, right? Then group number 18. Now let us see this element having atomic number 18. So what is that? What is the valence now? What is the valence number of electrons? The number of valence electrons. It is 8. So add 10 to 8. How much you got? 18. So 18 is the group number. 18 is the group number. And how many shells? 3 shells. So it belongs to which period? Third period. Now look at this. 2 and 4. So what is the number of valence electron? 4. So now you add 10 to 4. So 10 plus 4, 14. So group number 14. It's group number 14. Carbon family, group number 14. And number of shells is 2. So that means it belongs to the period 2. Likewise here also you can see it is 5. The number of valence electrons is 5. So add 10 to 5. 10 plus 5, 15. It belongs to the group 15. Clear? So 15 is a nitrogen family, you know. This is group number 15. And the number of shells is 2. So you're going to write the period number is how much? 2. So this way you can answer these questions. So now students, let's take up 2 more questions. Like you can see here, element X belongs to group 13. Write the formula of its oxide. Now let us take the element X. The first number, there is an element called X. Okay, we don't know what is that element. I'm not going to identify the element. Belongs to which group? Group number 13. You write the formula of its oxide. Okay, so you know how to write the formula, chemical formula by the crisscross method. So that means oxide is O. What is the valency? 2 minus. And what will be the valency of this element X? It belongs to group 13. So what is the number? How many number of valence electrons it has? We can subtract what? 10 from 13. So 13 minus 10, the valency will be how much? 3. Right? The valency will be 3. Okay. So valency is obviously 3 plus. So now what are you going to do? You are going to just crisscross it. So what is the formula of the oxide? X2O3. Okay. So just you have to determine the valency of that element. So the group number is given. So from the group number, what we can identify? We can identify the number of, we can find out the number of valence electrons. And by knowing the valence electrons, you can understand that if the number of valence electrons is 3, obviously it will donate 3 electrons. It will donate 3 electrons. Okay. So the formula of oxide is H2O3. Let's come to the second question. Element Y belongs to the group 2 and write a formula of its chloride. So group 2, I told you the elements of group 1, if there is group in the group 1 and 2, directly should know that the number of valence electrons is 1 and 2 respectively. So if it is group 2, the number of valence electrons is 2. Okay, so 2 plus, and what is the valency of chloride ion? 1 minus, just shift it. So we got here how much? X Cl2 is the formula of the chloride. Sorry, it's Y, I think, yes, Y. So it's the formula of the chloride of element Y, which belongs to group 2. Okay. So students, now let's come to the next question. Which of the given elements A, B, C, D and E with atomic numbers 2, 3, 7, 10 and 30 respectively belong to the same period? Okay. So the first thing what I'm going to do is just write the names of the elements A, B, C, D, E. There are 5 elements given to us. Respective the atomic numbers are also given 3, 7, 10, 30, right? By the electronic configuration, it will be 2 only. This will be 2, 1. This will be 2, 5. This will be 2, 8. And this will be 2, 8, 18, 2. Clear? The electronic configuration of these elements are given to us. So we are going to write the electronic configuration now. Now what is the question asked to you? Belong to the same period. So which elements belong to the same period, students? The elements which have the same number of shells. The same number of shells. So now let's find out which elements have the same number of shells. B, 2 shells. C has 2 shells. D has 2 shells. That means the given options are going to give B, C, D. So what is the option B, C, D? That means B, C, D, the elements B, C, D belong to the same period. I think the idea is very clear. And this one last question you are going to solve and send the answers to me in the comment section, right? And I want most of you to participate. Don't be dormant, please be active and participate, okay? Where do you locate an element with electronic configuration 28? That means the electronic configuration of the element is given to us. What is the electronic configuration 28? So you have to write the group number, how to find out the group number and the period, to which group it belongs and to which period it belongs, okay? So students, for today, I think it's enough for today. So in the next class, there are some very important properties regarding the periodic properties along with in a group and along a period. So we are going to discuss all those things also. So go to the lecture properly, understand everything, and in the next class, take care, study well.